And we are live again. What's going on, crypto warriors? Good afternoon, good after evening, and welcome back to another special episode as it's titled NFT NFTs with none other featuring introducing CryptobaeJ. Welcome to the show. Let me give you this warm round of applause. Gotta love that soundboard. Appreciate that, Alex. Hey, welcome to the show, CryptobaeJ. What's going on?
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm ready to talk NFTs.
There we go. Before we get into it, of course, we have to introduce you to everyone. As I always ask people, please tell everyone, your journey to Bitcoin, and I guess now your journey to NFTs. How did you come into the space? What are you doing in the space right now? Give some people an idea of who you are here.
So my previous career was a music manager, and I was working in Hollywood. And I took a brief hiatus, ended up going to work at a university with students in the entertainment industry. And some students hired me as a consultant for their record label. And I was like, how can you pay me? And they were like, oh, we got rich off of Bitcoin. And so I was like, okay, y'all need to tell me more, and y'all need to pay me in Bitcoin. So that was in 2017. And I would say in 2020 is really when I decided I was just going to go full on Bitcoin. So I made some good investments, and, I looked up, and we had a few highs, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna, do this full time. And so I've been an investor, and the gentleman of crypto has helped me along the way in my educational journey. And so right now I'm an NFT evangelista. I'm really passionate about NFTs in the entire space. But this has been, a ride that I have fully jumped off the plane, and I've seen the lows and the highs of it all. So I am excited to be here today.
There we go. We're gonna be talking about some of those lows and highs. And yeah, shout out to you. I saw that you were already starting to create NFT content on your own. And I was like, you know what, this is what people have been looking for. People always want to talk NFTs. So why not get someone who knows what they're talking about in this space? So for those who listen, this is the answer to that call. Again, CryptobaeJ will be here with all types of NFT specials here in the future. So make sure you tune in. Of course, we'll be adding her to the calendar as well. Really quick, want to get some shout outs. What's going on? One World, One Hood. Kadeem said back to back. What's up, Track PFC Wells? Asti Benoit. 2 Friday episode. What's going on? Wendy Nichols. Next World Leader. What's going on? Shannon. There we go. Yes. Next World Leader. April, I forgot this. The Bitcoin conference or something going on down there. I might actually be jumping down there as well. That Zay's trying to convince me. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. One of the first things we were talking about just before we went live was Braindom Game NFTs. I mean, let's just jump into this whole NFT fiasco. What made you mention Braindom Games? What is it? What's going on with this NFT project here?
So this is already a popular intellectual property. It's a brain teaser game that people already use and love. And so this is the character Brian, basically they decided to create an NFT project around it. So a lot of people were super excited about the project. And as even when we were pulling up this page, we saw so many counterfeit projects. This was this was one of the, I'm in some alpha groups, some top secret alpha groups. And so this was like highly promoted. People were very, very excited. So as you can see here, it was a #1 top free app in the App Store, #1 word games category in Apple and Google Play, trivia games, puzzle games. I mean, this is already really popular entity. And so they decided to take their talents over to the NFT space.
So it was a game that was already out. It's already been popular in the App Store. They came over to the NFT space. Did they already launch as well?
The app had already launched, but yes, Braindom just launched just 2 days ago.
Okay. All right. So it already has essentially the community behind it, and they decided to swap it over to NFTs.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so this is their roadmap. This is the breakdown of what they are, the utility of what they're bringing to the NFT space and the metaverse.
So did you so you've been looking at these NFTs. What's been the response? They launched. What was the community response to it?
And the community response was lackluster.
What? Oh my goodness.
It was lackluster. I mean, people were super excited about it, but it's trading under the mint right now. So it's still to be determined whether or not this project is going to skyrocket in the future. So it could be a good investment. You kind of have to keep your ears to the streets. You got to get in the Discord. You got to see what the sentiment is, so that to know if this is something that may be a good bet long term. But previous to the launch, people were definitely thinking this was going to be a great long term play.
So it was one of those things where as soon as it launched, it did kind of crash, as we've seen.
Yes.
So exactly. You're talking about that, oh, real talk. Thank you for the tip, says sister with a little spaceship to it. There we go. Crypto and culture. What's the word? So when it comes to NFTs, you're kind of talking about one of the strategies. And one of the things I shout out to Reggie Middleton for a word he said. We're calling it stakeholders now. Nobody's doing any type of investing on this channel, right? People are becoming stakeholders of projects. They add value, but no. It's funny. Crypto and culture just said this ain't financial advice for sure. So when you're looking at people who are becoming stakeholders or whatever, what is a method you would give to them as far as ways to either maintain or increase their value when they're looking at NFTs? You're saying, hey, when some of these things hit, they might automatically drop. So should they be looking, I guess, to jump into these projects pre-mint, or how do you, how would you advise people on that?
So, the big alpha in the NFT space is to get on the whitelist. That is where you're going to get, that's the secret sauce.
So what's a whitelist? What's a whitelist?
The whitelist is a VIP list for NFT, right? So you want to kind of have your ears to the streets, be in the Discord, and basically if you're already in some and already own certain NFTs, you might be added as a special guest and invited to mint an NFT if you show interest, or you can, hustle it through raffles and adding people to the Discord and hustling and promoting the project. That can also get you an opportunity to be on the VIP list. And so the perks of being on the whitelist is that you get to mint usually on the pre-sale. And usually when you mint in the pre-sale, you have a certain amount of time where you can mint any hour of the day. So then you don't have to pay those high gas fees. You can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and mint it, for your $40 and move on with your life.
Shannon, what's going on? Next World Leader saying you have to follow the holders of a project to see how liquid a project is. People follow the whales. Have you tried doing anything like that?
Following the whales. I mean, you can do that. It really just depends on your strategy. I like to use the word, you can use stakeholders. I like using collectors. I think, being a collector, but are you a short-term or a long-term person? I think a lot of people on this channel, since we do talk about Bitcoin a lot, are looking for things of substance. And so I would say that you're going to be focusing on the utility. What is special about this project? So if, for example, with the Nas NFT project, he was offering the royalties for the streams of that song. And so then you can say, okay, I think that's proprietary and I really want to invest in that, as opposed to something that's where someone's just like, you're going to get invited to parties in LA and Miami, and you're like, okay, I don't really see that would be a long-term investment. So that is one thing. Another thing is, my rule of thumb is you always want to go and buy into, right? So one that I can flip my money on immediately once it mints and on the secondary market or reveals on the secondary market, I should say, and then hold one for the long term in case it does 10x.
Okay. I like that. I do see you saying by those different strategies as well. Bovine is saying, what does it mean to mint? What is mint? What does that mean?
Mint, it just means that you are, it's the launch. It's the term that we call to launch and put out there. So when a project launches and you're able to buy it, you're the first purchaser of the project directly from the website or from Etherscan if it's an Ethereum-based project. Because after that, it will be, you're purchasing it on the secondary market like OpenSea or one of the other markets like Nifty Gateway after the fact.
Okay. What's going on? JG Wentworth said whitelist is definitely where it's at. Be active in the Discord. Early on, when you notice a project you like on Twitter, grab a whitelist spot and you're in there like swimwear. There we go.
So I have something just for my folks because I've heard JG Wentworth. I haven't met you in person, but I hear you're here all the time. Kadeem, I hear you here all the time. There's someone else you mentioned. Anyway, shout out for the people that are always here. I got something for you. So the secret is people hire virtual assistants for the low so that they can do the heavy lifting and do the invites so that they can get that whitelist spot, especially if you have like a full-time job and you can't be in the Discord all the time. So that's next level.
There we go. And see, PFC Wells is saying they want you to do the heavy lifting as well. So, all right, there we go. I guess that's the, all right, that's what's up. I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good one. Hire a virtual assistant to really crawl the space for stuff like that. Next world leader, what's going on? Web3 NFT has a whole language amongst itself, slightly different than regular crypto. It's like Portuguese to Spanish. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
What?
Web3 NFT has a whole another language by itself. I haven't checked that out. I got to look more into that. So what are your thoughts in general about NFTs overall? Like, so you are excited for this market. You think this market is going to be here?
Yes, I think this market is definitely going to be here. But I think that I think it's going to die down. I think it's going to be, it's going to be very normal. Like, going into an event, you're going to show your NFT, it's not going to be all this hype around, this special technology. It's just going to be ingrained in our everyday life.
Wait, what do you mean going into the event? Like you would have it like as your ID on your phone or something?
No, like as a ticket,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. As a unique. Oh, okay, that's fair. Like EDC, here's a unique special NFT ticket type deal.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, okay, I can see that one. All right, yeah.
Yeah, that will be used. I feel like really often. I mean, right now for Gary Vee's project, if you own V Friend, which is his first project that came out almost a year ago, in last year May, you're going to get 3 NFTs that are going to give you tickets for his VCon conference for the next 3 years. So his NFTs are serving as tickets into the conference. And then that makes it easy for you to sell them to other people as well. And then you can trade them if you get like a rare, that type of thing.
All right. Speaking of all these different NFTs, one we have to talk about is Weather Report. You mentioned this before we got on, why the founders of Weather Report NFT are having a civil war. It says here, trouble is brewing for the team behind the highly anticipated Weather Report NFT collection. Looks like the original artist who created the collections, well-admired art, is claiming unfair treatment by the project founders. However, the dramatic story has traveled far on NFT Twitter, as it said all of earlier last month. So what exactly happened with this Weather Report NFT? Why are they having this civil war? And what happened with their original artist here?
So the original artist was hired to do the artwork and is saying that he anticipated being a part of the project financially for the duration of the project. And the business people, his team is saying that that is not what they agreed on. And I do not believe that they have any paperwork on this. And so it's an unfortunate situation where, the NFT community wants to support the artist. And so now it's kind of like it's putting the community in this limbo of the people that invested in the project and have bought it, and people who are wanting to invest in the project and hoping that they will work it out.
So as someone who's in these communities, what are your thoughts? A project launches, whether successful or not, let's say it is like, mildly successful, whatever, NFT project. However, this does come up. And then, a lot of things in this space are pretty informal. So it is one of those things. And I can see both sides. Maybe who knows who's telling the truth, right? Maybe the artist is say, hey, I did think I would be a part of this entire project. Maybe the project was like, no, you had this upfront payment coming, that was it. As someone who may be interested in becoming a stakeholder of these NFTs, would you care about that? Is that something you would say, hey, no, I did this to support the artist or the music creator or this? Or would you say, hey, business is business and this is worth a lot right now, I'm going to buy it. Like, I'm going to keep it.
No, I feel like the NFT community is so about their feelings, so about injustice, like they care. And for me, me personally, I'm like, ooh, there's trouble in the waters. I'm taking my money elsewhere because that does not sound like a good investment to me. So when you have that internal fighting like that, trying to regain people's trust again, it's just difficult after that, because now everyone's looking at the other people in the team sideways, like, are you guys not down for creators and the artists? Because that's what this is all about. So that's how I feel about it. What about you?
I think I'll be in the middle of the road on this one. And the only reason why is because it's one of those things. Well, I guess it'll be unique to the story. For a story like this, I'll more likely side with the artist. If the artist is saying like, no, we never agreed to this, whatever. But it's one of those things where I want to hear the business side of the house too, because if the business is like, no, we told this artist and musician, we told them whatever up front, we gave them the $10,000 or whatever, $100,000 or $1 million, whatever it is. We gave it to them. This is the deal they want to do, whatever. Then I kind of get it if it was done like that and that was the agreed upon contract. If it wasn't and they were kind of tricking them, or the artist or person didn't know about the NFT market that much, then I would be more sympathetic for sure to it.
But this is a business, right? So first of all, why do we even know that this is happening, right? Isn't that something that you guys could have a meeting about, while hopefully if you could salvage it, then you're not bringing the community in, in all of it. So it shows me that there's some immaturity at play here. And also in the NFT community, you have this is the type of space where we're like, bring it to Twitter Spaces, bring it to Clubhouse, let's hash it out. And that's what they do. And we can hear both sides and go from there.
And see, and that's why I'm probably more middle of the road, because I have to be honest, telling Zay today too. I was like, all right, I'll get more on Twitter, where I was looking at Twitter and stuff today. Those are the spaces I'm not in enough, and I'm not in the NFT community enough. Again, I make sure I'm well versed on it, but I'm not ingrained enough into the community to share that sentiment. So I do agree with you. And that's why you're here to do the show. That is why CryptobaeJ is here, people, because she is in the community and she's making sure, the fair things are going on. That's important. Really quick, Crypto Vixen. That's what I thought. Crypto Vixen said that's a tough place to be in, support the artist or the project. Like, and again, especially, I mean, we said mildly successful. What happens when it's like a Bored Ape or something? Like, what happens when we talk about 100K? 200K, and it's like, I want to support you, but oh my goodness, I will. Go ahead.
It's one of those things where are you investing in a cryptocurrency because everyone's talking about it? It's the same thing. It's the same parallel.
That's a good point.
And you're just gonna ride the wave and then and then cash out. That's how I see it.
All right, I'll give you that. That's a fair point right there. It looks like PFC Wells, next word leader, they saying JG Wentworth, they said you're the second person that they seen say it today. So they've been in, I guess, talking about getting these virtual assistants. Everybody's like, that's actually a low-key play. So there you go. If you haven't learned anything else from the shows today or the channel, you have heard about getting a virtual assistant to help you comb through NFT projects from CryptobaeJ. Hey, all right, we did our job. Show's over, folks. You all have a happy Friday. Virtual, I didn't even know. I haven't been using virtual assistants myself. So there we go. We got one already. That's all we need. We just need to add a little bit of value per day. JG Whitworth, how do you feel about LooksRare community built OpenSea?
Yeah, so I have strong opinions about LooksRare. I'm not using LooksRare because I don't know if you guys covered this story. I feel like you did. You did cover this story, but basically, they had an airdrop and they pulled all the money out. And they're saying that they needed to pay. Yes, they needed to pay themselves. I think it was $30 million or something crazy.
Oh yeah, we did cover that. Okay,
yes,
right.
yes, exactly. $30 million. So basically, they have a competitor to OpenSea, and it's a really great platform. But to me, that's shiesty. You know, that's like, I don't know. I'm not using LooksRare. But I feel like I'm like a diehard community person. It works. You can use it. Are they planning to run away with the money in the long term? Maybe. Again, that shows me that these folks are not that professional. And so I don't know that I want to have all of my NFTs listed on there, you know, in their care. So
no, I'm with you on that. So yeah, whenever it's like, I swear the pot of money is a test for all projects and people. It's just like, give them a pot of money and let's see what they do with it for a year. Is the pot of money still going to be there? Is it going to be gone? Is it going to be more money? Will it be less money? Like, what's going to happen to the pot of money? And I'm with you. Whenever there's pot of money and moves, like they try to take the money. They try to steal. The story's coming back to me. They tried to take the money. Somebody called them out and they was like, oh, we plan to take it anyway. It's like, well, then why didn't you do an announcement like you announced everything else? You could have been like, hey, the dev team is about to pull out $30 million, and this is why we feel like we owe ourselves. But so I'm with you. They did it kind of shiesty. It was kind of shady the way they did it. Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything being on there at all, especially as you know we later on start talking about NFT and regulations. Like again, that's just a slippery slope on that one. But one thing I did see, shout out to PFC Wills. I saw you mention it. And you know, we're about to talk about, oh, Reggie Middleton, what's going on? You guys know that most Bitcoins are NFTs, right? Woo! Oh, man, Reggie, tell us. Most Bitcoins are NFTs. What are your thoughts on that, CryptobaeJ?
I think I need to be educated by the DeFi, the father of DeFi on
Let
that
us know, Reggie. Let us know the reason for that one. Yeah, I got to hear that one. One thing I did see that in the chat, PFC Wills just talked about, we definitely were going to bring up. This is a crazy story. I saw this story the other day. Pixelman NFT revealed disappoints with hilariously ugly art. What is going on with this Pixelman NFT project? And what happened with this eye-popping $70 million that they raised? And what did they do with it?
So Pixelman, of course, had a huge buzz. Okay, these people are marketing machines out here. Okay, they had a huge buzz, and they did a Dutch auction, which basically is a auction style that starts at a very high price, and then after time, over a specific set of time, the price continues to tinker down further and further until it hits a bottom floor price. And most of the project was sold at the top high price of 3 ETH. And so basically, once the art was revealed for this project, and this project was tied to people who were in gaming, and as a, you know, I don't want to say exact names, but people who are in gaming, and they're supposed to be, you know, they're the next it. They're you know, well known and in that space. Then we have the reveal, and we see it right here in front of us. And so now we looked on OpenSea, and the price of this project is 0.27 ETH. It dropped down from 3 ETH.
It started at 3 Ethereum. And goodness gracious, we have 0.27 Ethereum now.
We're at 0.27 Ethereum now.
Okay. So for those who are listening, this is supposed to be like a Pokemon type of game. So Pixelman raised $70 million to create a NFT-based game inspired by Nintendo's Pokemon. So if you ever seen the movie or the TV shows, all those Pokemon, that's what this is supposed to be. It was supposed to be a Pokemon type game. They raised $70 million, and this looks nothing like a Pokemon type of game. This is terrible. Oh my goodness. Okay, so according to his roadmap or light paper, it promised the largest and highest quality game the NFT space has ever seen. All right, so it didn't work out. What are they doing with the money?
They're apologizing and saying that I would like, this is what they're doing right here. I would like to apologize on behalf of everyone that's been affected. they had a Ask Me Anything forum in the Discord channel.
Now, was this the same team that actually spent some of the money on other NFTs as well?
Yes. This is the same team that took that money and invested it in some blue chip NFT projects, which is, again, that's also a little shady as well.
So again, here's the Pixelmans. Here's some of the different Pixelmans. Yeah, these are pretty big, $70 million project. So if I remember correctly, this project, I guess, took some of that $70 million and actually went to go buy things like different Bored Apes. Here, let me look at this price chart. Woo, yeah, you can see this thing started dip. Was it average price 1.59? Is that point or that's 1.59?
1.59.
Goodness gracious.
Yes. So when it first launched, you're not gonna have the launch price on here.
Okay, you won't have it on here. Okay.
Yeah, you won't have it on here. You'll only have the secondary when it was so if you scroll all the way down.
So somebody did buy it, but people did buy it. A couple people did buy it for 1.2 and 1.59 already.
Yes. And so exactly. So it was, but they originally, so where you see 6 days ago.
Right. Oh, 6 days. Yeah. Okay, 6 days ago.
It would say minted where it says minted. Yeah. Right. On the left-hand side, that's where they would have paid the 3 ETH, but it wouldn't have been on OpenSea. It would have been on their website and on Etherscan. And then basically usually, people are trading before the reveal. So you won't actually see the art and people will start to, to trade.
Oh, so those trades, they didn't even see the art yet. They were just making those trades happen.
Yes, just making those trades happen. And then once you have the reveal, then that's when you see, the huge dump and the controversy.
This is crazy. I'm also looking at what is this? This Kevin thing. So one of the big stories about this Pixelman, one of them actually did end up being worth something, at least for a short period of time, because it was so terrible. And that was his main Pixelman, Kevin. I'm actually trying to bring up Kevin here, which is pretty hilarious. This little monster, whatever it is, people thought it was so hilariously bad. They actually thought it would be worth something. But again, these Pixelmans, people paid up to $10,000 per NFT, which again, that is crazy. $10,000 per NFT, as we just saw now, someone worth $400. And then this is another tweet. What was advertised? Oh man, on the left, it was what was advertised. On the right is what people got. This is why projects that bring these ridiculous evaluations like Pixelman should always be looked on a fairly, be looked at fairly, I guess, be looked on a fairly. I'm not sure what that means. This space has too much hype to think only in terms of potential flip value, which lets people like Cyber get away with this. That's his Twitter name or whatever.
Yes, the creator.
And the developers actually came out and said they messed up. You can see here, we made a horrible mistake, referring to the botch reveals. But also they said they will use $2 million, which is crazy. Again, they put in $70 million.
Yes.
They will use $2 million to fix the issues faced by the project. And then they also went into details saying, hey, even though we're going to use the $2 million to fix the project, they use some of the other money to buy more NFTs. So they actually use some of the money that they raised to buy NFTs of different projects, NFTs that people actually like Bored Apes and so on and so forth. So of course, a lot of people are pissed off about that. And what I thought was one of the most egregious things I saw was this Cyber tweet that you point out. And what is this one about? What did he say?
This is, this is the founder of the project. Obviously before the launch, where he says, Pixelman is the next blue chip. This is financial advice. Don't do your own research.
This is like a snub to the SEC space if I've ever seen it right here. I mean, what are your thoughts about a project founder doing this?
It's pompous. He's pompous. Like he thinks he has his shit together and he just doesn't. Which is why, this is why we have this whole thing of do your own research, because you cannot believe everything you see on the internet.
Well, what's crazy too is even back, look at the comments. Like this one is from December. Yeah, December 22nd, 2021. You can pull my rug, Cyber. Like somebody called the rug pull in December. And then as this person said, this aged even better. Like someone literally called the rug pull. This is crazy. Like they called the rug pull. I mean, look, when the project founder
said, send him a tip now, just because.
Right. Exactly. The project founder said, this is financial advice. Don't do your own research. Like, holy, listen, for
My
one, you are
gosh.
picking a fight with the government right now. Let's see. I'm looking at some of these comments. Don B said crypto punks are not better. Let's see. S Freechy said even $0 for one of these is out of control. Yeah, so yeah, it's like 4 NFTs that came off the Kevin NFT. So yeah, the Kevin NFT actually did it was worth something. I'm not sure the price of it right now, but it was worth something at first because people thought it was so bad. The rug pull was so egregious. They was like, this actually could be worth something, just as like almost like a BitConnect reminder type of deal. Let's see. Next World Leader and them said, yep. You think everybody said he knew what he was doing. JG Wetworth said Kid 8 is pretty. Yeah, he's pretty bold for doing. Is a pretty good NFT artist, but that's another level because at least Kid 8 ain't rug pulling people for sure. And then they transferred them to anonymous wallets. Whoa, goodness gracious! Oh, it looks like it's one guy too. It's just one guy. All right, appreciate it. Pixelman is one guy.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
The cyberer.
The cyber. So he did go out and buy other. So he took the $70 million and he bought other NFTs. That's crazy. And shout out to Reggie. So I do get Reggie saying about most Bitcoins are NFTs. He's right. Yeah. Fungible means of goods contracted for without an individual specimen being specified, able to replace or be replaced by another identical item, mutually interchangeable, of course. Bitcoin's fungibility and everything with that. So that is a good point. Technically, those would be considered in NFTs. Reggie also said the couple that got busted had their Bitcoin tagged and traced. It was proven not to be interchangeable. Each and every individual coin was reconstructed and tracked right back to them. NFT. All right. There we go. Next World Leader said Reggie came in with the drop and the Paul Mooney thought process on it. Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I get the
always educating.
All right, there we go. Let's see. What else do we have? Maybe it was worth something on Pawns. Maybe it'll be worth something on Pawn Stars in 2050. Hilarious.
Listen, you have to think about the nostalgia. That
is true.
That's a strategy.
If the NFT market survives, the nostalgia of some of these projects, like, yeah, it will 5 years from now. Oh, you remember the Pixelman Kevin NFT, like whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I have that one. Yeah, it's history. It's a part of history now.
Yeah, speaking of all this, and again, especially coming off the heels of this Pixelman story, we spoke about this yesterday, I think, or the day before, but I wanted your thoughts on it. SEC investigating NFT market over potential securities violations. You heard about the story. First, what are your thoughts? Is there a case here? And if so, what's the way ahead for the market? What do you see happening in this marketplace as the SEC starts to take a peek at it?
I think that, there is a NFT glossary word that's called it's money laundering. So I'm sure there's some of that going on in here. But I think what's really important about this is, I wanted to say that this is going to affect a lot more people than just people who have aped into projects where they paid $500,000 for, because a lot of these blue chip and red chip projects, these started under $1,000. So
that is true, though. That's fair, yeah.
Right. So an average. I mean, a kid, a 13-year-old, just I wish I had the story at the top of my mind, but anyway, people. So if you were in the know and you bought, 3 to 5 of these NFTs and they've jumped to over $1,000, this is going to affect you as well. And so, you just got to kind of keep your ears out to see what these regulators are talking about. I spoke with someone over the Super Bowl timing period, and he's been working with A-list celebrities with their NFT projects, and they've been working with the government. And they said that psychedelics and NFTs are on the top of their list to sort through and regulate. So that's something that everyone should pay attention to.
That's right. Because if you take a psychedelic and look at an NFT, you'll scare yourself shitless. What's also interesting, you kind of just mentioned something. that actually makes me think about a different take on the SEC investigating the market. There are a lot of younger people on it, and these projects are starting off. Some of them are community driven, like you mentioned earlier. So I wonder how they're actually, it's going to be weird how they're actually going
to discipline 13-year-olds.
Exactly. You already knew I was going there. How are you going to, they're going to have to enforce it through the parents, which will almost make it, they're going to make it illegal. I think they might almost make the NFT market like 14 and up with parental whatever. Like they're going to have to make it so that, hey, we need a tax ID number attached to, or they might go through the exchanges. Like they might go through OpenSea and say, hey, okay, cool, you can do everything. We need a tax ID or a social security number. People sign up the same way we're seeing on exchanges. And then it's one of those things where the barrier to entry is automatically been placed in front of a kid, out of the blue. So that is going to be, but then again, on the secondary market, what's to stop that? So,
but to sign up, maybe even for if you're going to go to a centralized NFT exchange, it probably will have that because, Coinbase is going to open up their exchange soon and they ask you for a whole lot of information. So that sounds like you're right on the money with that one.
Yeah, that's going to be weird though. Like I said, because again, I just saw on the Dr. Phil show, the 15-year-old who did the beluga whales made $1 million like an hour or whatever. It's like, so you're going to send her a letter from the SEC like, hey, if we don't get that 30% off, you young lady, kicking that lemonade stand down next week. Like what, how does that work? Like, and again, this goes back to even a broader conversation where it's like, teach taxation in school, like teach it. Like they're not teaching this in school. They just expect you to know it. Like, so you're high school, you're in middle school, elementary, middle school, high school. You never learn about the SEC or securities at all. They don't teach you this at all. And then sophomore year of high school, you create an NFT and you about to learn today. Like, wait, what's going on there? It's crazy. Bo Vine said, my daughter is an artist. Can we make an NFT with her drawings and paintings? I would do more research, but I had to ask.
Yes, you definitely can. And it's very, very easy. It's almost as easy as creating a Facebook profile. If you were to use OpenSea or Nifty Gateway or Super Rare.
Okay. Let's see what else we have. S. Fritchie, NFTs, just too much to worry about. I'm sticking to DeFi, 600% yields. Thank you very much. Let's see. PFC Wells, technically, you don't have to go on the NFT marketplace to, what is that? Was it Well? What was that? You saying Well or Mint NFTs? If it's really based on the tech, you can do it peer-to-peer. Okay, as far as probably.
Yes. Because NFTs will be licenses as well. So, but yeah, I've done peer-to-peer where I've bought it from someone directly and I just send it directly to their wallet too.
What are your thoughts on VB digital assets or Top Shots? You got any thoughts on any of those?
Top Shot, you mean like as far as sports trading?
The NBA Top Shots.
Yeah, I think that those are huge. Those are huge, and I think they will continue to be huge as long as but they're still all of these digital assets, whether it's art or music or sports, it's just really going to be about the team behind it and who's cultivating it, and then also like the influencer, right? So those are just like trading cards. So as a professional athlete grows in their career, those things are going to become more valuable.
Okay. So tell everybody, where can they find you at? What are some of the projects and things you're looking at NFTs? And what's some things they might be expecting from this another new show, No Name? You all got to help CryptobaeJ come up with a name here in the next few weeks. And she might have some more people join her on the panel. So it might be some more folks who will be on the lookout. But where can they find you at? Where can they find some of the work you've been doing in NFTs? And I guess where are some of the things they can expect from you when it comes to NFTs here over at TGOC?
Yeah, so you can find me at CryptobaeJ, CryptobaeJ, on all social networks. I can, DM me and I'm friendly. We can chop it up. We can talk about NFTs. I'm in NFTs, but I'm also in other spaces in crypto. I'm into the metaverse. So, I'm an open book. What else can they be expecting from me in our show? I really just want to teach people how to do their own research. As I talk to people all the time, that is their biggest complaint. They don't know how to do their own research. It's almost as if like they didn't have to write papers in school. It's really interesting, but I'm tailoring it to the NFT space. So I want people to really understand what to really look for. And we talked about that today. We talked about who the founders are, what the community is looking like, what kind of utility that the project has, the price, the supply and demand of the project. So these are all things that you need to take into consideration and evaluate when you're looking at NFTs. And we're just going to deep dive into the projects, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of alpha, of where to start looking.
No, I'm definitely with it. Like I said, we've been one down the channel. I know a lot of people will be curious, to at least those who are really into jumping into different NFTs, especially in the alpha phase, because that is a different play again as a stakeholder. There's one thing if you're gonna wait for it to launch and everything, but you're right. Like if you can get on it early and actually mint some of these things or pre-mint or right at the top of it, then I mean, for those who are looking for, strictly ROI type of deals, that is the best time to get ROIs. And you don't have to get greedy at that time too. Bovine, excuse me, said, they said they're over there in the DMV and you're flexing all that sunshine in the background. They got cold gray weather over there, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on the West Coast, y'all.
Fast Nickel MB said NFTs are not different than sports cards or Pokemon cards. I think the internet has made the values known, but the SEC does not go after that market. I mean, you're right about that. And that's crazy to me too. That's crazy. I mean, it literally is just a value thing. It's a value thing. And can we get our hands on it? You're right. If you were to trade sports cards and Pokemon cards peer-to-peer, yeah, I mean, there really wouldn't be any issues. I'm assuming if you go to a pawn shop or something like that, you might incur some type of tax, or if you went on some type of website platform, but you're right. If you were to do those peer-to-peer, I haven't seen any news headlines trying to chase down people who had the Michael Jordan rookie card or, like his card. So I agree with you, Fast Nickel. But again, that's just gang. You know what's up.
But because of the transparency, like they can't track everyone who has their card, right? So I think the transparency on the blockchain can, it has its pros and its cons.
Next World Leader said, my question for you, CryptobaeJ, do you consider yourself an NFT DJ? LOL.
NFT DJ?
Degenerate.
Oh, degenerate. I like to call myself an evangelista.
There we go.
That is what I am.
Y'all know I'm on a DJ inside the house. I hold it down. Ron B, any thoughts on real estate NFTs?
Oh, yeah, big thoughts. I think, smart contracts are going to be huge in real estate. But I guess I need more information about exactly what you mean. So you mean like land NFTs in the metaverse, or you mean like actual houses and apartment buildings having a NFT correspondent to it? So, I've definitely.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it depends on what you mean, but I think it's going to play a big role on either side. Either side. Mm-hmm. I know people that are building brownstones in the metaverse right now, and from that look like New York brownstones, and selling those to people to replicate their own homes. So, I think, the imagination is going crazy at the moment.
There we go. Courtney Johnson, what's going on? What stops someone from snapshotting an NFT and minting it on another blockchain?
You can do that. You can do it. It's not ethical. I think that once the community gets a hold of it, and they find out about you, it's going to be, they're going to run you out of town. I mean, that's
what I've kind of seen as well. I've seen the platform and the community, once they find out, they kind of like, everybody kind of like, it's just like a community ban. Yeah.
You can't come back to crypto after you do something like that.
Or at least you gotta wait the 2 to 3 years, as most scam artists do. They usually wait 2 years and reappear under something new. Crypto Vixen, do you think projects that have DAOs are more trustworthy, or it just depends if it's, I guess, or it just depends because it's the NFT world?
if like a DAO comes out with an NFT.
Yeah, I guess a DAO NFT.
Yeah, I think that creates like a crypto ecosystem. Like some NFT projects or some creators also have their own tokens, and then they do, they have a really cool model where you can get an NFT if you have their token, or you can burn the NFT for more tokens. So for the more sophisticated in this space, they can get really creative with that. I guess it just depends on what they're offering. When I hear that, it sounds like they have a more robust team of people and more of a checks and balance system, because that's what you have to have with a DAO. But I would need more information.
All right, and let's see. Last but not least, okay. So talking about the real estate NFTs, Ron was talking about rentals and like in real life. Like I guess your thoughts on real life NFTs. I guess for housing, for rental units, all that good stuff. I mean, for me, I can kind of see it working. Like, all it is essentially a way to digitize who owns something. Like, right? Essentially, my own thoughts would be, I guess, I do see where he's going, because the NFT will represent it in real life, or the NFT will represent the real life representation. It would be the digital representation of it. My only question and thoughts would be how it's updated if things, let's say you get an NFT of a house and this is how much it's worth and everything. Well, what happens if a fire happens overnight type of deal? Like, how will the NFT reflect that? Or would it only be reflected on the resale market? Maybe that's where we see the reflection at. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think like, what type of house? Like, is it a iconic house in Malibu where you have the original of the house, you have the original
I get you.
of the house, which could
or is
go
it like another
the
neighborhood cul-de-sac blue tan house type of deal?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I think it could go a lot of different ways. I'm not exactly sure how they will work out, like if like an apartment. I don't know how that would work for an apartment, but if you own the home and you own the land, I could see that easily being passed down to each a digital deed holder. I guess that's all I really
right. That's I was thinking about. That's gonna be a crazy little foray into it. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna work. I think it will probably be more apparent on the resale market, but the whole physical part, it will have to be some part of getting everything verified, that this house is this house and it has this stuff right with it and wrong with it. And this is all, like, if it's some bad piping, I want the NFT to be able to show that. I want to be able to click on my NFT and it's like, I see a stat where it's like, yeah, the pipe is only 50%.
The Carfax. It's like the Carfax.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. Something like that. But
yes.
Who knows? Again, for those who are looking, you can find CryptobaeJ across all social media platforms at CryptobaeJ. I know you are active on Instagram. You're active on Twitter as well, right?
Yes. I'm active on Twitter, and please DM me. I actually have an NFT cheat sheet for some folk.
Can we add that to the newsletter? Or are you selling it? What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm selling it, but I'm gonna hook
No, well, we'll put the link. We'll put the link in the newsletter. That way they can know where to find it. We'll make sure we get that link, folks. We'll put that in the description newsletter. So she does have an NFT cheat sheet. What are some things on there they can look out for?
Basically, it's a lead list of vetted research projects, just so that for folks like you who are professionals, you're busy, you can say, okay, this is where I can start to like look at what's going on and kind of pick what I want from there. And then also just has some tips about the NFT space. Also include a glossary in there so that if there are some things you don't really know, like a fat finger, what does that even mean? When people are using that term fat finger, it just means that, when they slipped and sold the NFT for a ridiculously low price.
Listen, I was a new one. I didn't even know that one. Maybe I'm not in the NFT community. Goodness gracious. I didn't. So wait, a fat finger in the NFT community is what?
It's when, it's like it's a fat finger error. So when someone actually by mistake, sells an NFT for, if it was worth $10,000, you know, for $10 or
Oh, that would
$100
hurt.
by
That would
mistake.
hurt.
Yeah, it hurts. And it happens often. And the bots buy those. The bots, they're set up and they buy those quick.
How much is the cheat sheet as well?
The cheat sheet is $53.
$53. There we go. Well, I say what already. I know she's already provided value, so something worth checking out. Was that?
I said so much value.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the virtual assistant. I would pay $50 just for that one. So if you're interested in, you do like all those NFTs, and you are looking for that cheat sheet, make sure you check that out. Send me the link, so I'll put that in the description. Then we'll also put that in next week's newsletter. A few last comments. What's going on, Michael Kenny? I know Michael Kenny's in the NFT game heavy. Said I totally see it going and getting rid of the paper title and changing it to a digital NFT as far as real estate. Yep. I mean, the paper everything. It's just no reason.
Oh.
We're getting away from. It's no reason. The environment. PFC Wells says being worked on by a lawyer I know right now. Okay, cool. Let's see. Power of 9. So we talked about that. Power of 9. So I can screenshot your NFT and create it on another platform, which is the real NFT now. Right. So the pushback of that would be the community. So that's what they said. The community would essentially shun you out of the marketplace once word got around. So it's like it'll be one of those things where you can scam people once and then they'll make it known and it'll be tough to do it again.
Yeah.
And then also when it comes to the screenshot of NFTs, also you don't forget some people have doxed themselves in this space. So when you're talking about NFTs, whether it's music or artists and some of those different people, some people are like, no, this is mine. No, that ain't mine. So
yeah,
it's one of those things where it is a community-driven thing. Let's not forget that. Asti Benoit says she is on today. Nice to see an alpha female on the channel. There we go. Kadeem K. I thought it was when you mistyped it. Okay, yep. These are about the fat finger. PFC Wells, also real estate NFTs will be tied to your digital ID and internet things, but we are ways out. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna put all that together. And shout out to CBTV Crypto Blood. What's going on, Crypto Blood? Welcome back. If you all haven't checked out Crypto Blood, Sean, you are missing out on a lot. Check out CBTV, of course. And other than that, CryptobaeJ, thank you as always. Again, you all. I was a guest on the show today, just to let everybody know. This is going to be her show. I was just doing the introduction to bringing her to you all. But again, moving forward, you'll be seeing a lot more CryptobaeJ. She'll be having some partners that will be on the panel with her. But again, we're going to be looking at different NFT projects, and CryptobaeJ is going to be leading that charge. So for all those who are interested, this is going to be the place. Not sure we're going to be doing it every Friday at 4 o'clock or what time or when. So be on the lookout. But we'll put them all on the calendar and we have those updates. And with that, CryptobaeJ, bring us out. Sign us out. What you got?
Listen, y'all. Until next time, keep your ears to the crypto streets.
Hey, there it is.